I'm sitting here in my pajamas and it's midday. We've just come out of the holidays. It can be a very joyous time or it can be not so joyous. I just wanted to take a minute to talk a little bit about how crochet has helped my mental health, because I have worked hard at becoming a much more positive person and seeing a lot more of the good in everything. And that's not something that's always come easy for me. And in the past, different holidays have been more difficult for me. And if this has been a difficult season for you, I want you to know that I'm here and I hear you. I grew up in a home with some pretty significant mental health issues. So I didn't have that super picture perfect childhood full of wonderful Christmases. There was generally a lot of stress, fighting. I just wanted you to know that, what you see on here is what I want this channel to be, and what I enjoy doing. And this is a very happy activity for me. So, when I'm on here and I'm talking to you about yarn and crochet and these projects, I am in a pretty good mood, but it's something that I have worked at as well. And crochet has helped me in so many ways with my mental health. I wanted to share that with you. If you're a person who's a little bit on the fence about how much you crochet, and maybe you can bump it up a little bit and bump up some of that serotonin, or if maybe you're already doing these things and just hearing it from someone else and maybe looking at it through a different lens will help you kind of process that information and realize that, maybe you are already doing some things to help with your mental health. So I'm going to start out with the first basic way that crochet has helped my mental health. And honestly, some of it is a distraction. 6 or 7 years ago, we were in a car accident and we did walk away with just minor injuries, and I am so thankful for that. But our Jeep and our camper were totaled in the accident. We were going down a highway and we were approaching a gravel road. A tow truck pulled out in front of us. We hit it. It did not do really anything to the tow truck, but like I said, it ruined all of our stuff, and we did have some mild injuries, but my anxiety went through the roof after that. And when I say through the roof, that is, I'm understating it for you. So that is something that still, after all these years, I am working very hard to try to get back down, but it really became a bad cycle for me of causing myself more anxiety every time I got in the car. And then it made that initial anxiety so much worse. Like it just kept building on it and building on it and building on it. And I did some therapy. I went to like in-person therapy. I did some over the phone therapy, and it is what it is. It's going to probably be a continual thing for me, but it has gotten a lot easier when I work on crochet projects. So, if we're running errands and it is 40 minutes to the town we usually go to, and I crochet the whole time. And that has been great. Like if we're driving through a bigger city or something like that, I can just work on a project. I can zone in on that, and it helps keep my mind from catastrophizing. I'm able to work on my stitches. And is it a perfect system? No, it is definitely not. Am I avoiding facing some of it? Probably. But has it helped improve riding in the car with me? 100%. And has it made it much easier for my husband to be in the car with me? Probably 1,000%. So that is probably the most basic way that crochet has helped me in my mental health, by eliminating some of that anxiety just from getting in the car. This video is not meant to diagnose anyone or diagnose me, and I am definitely not a mental health provider. So please, if you feel as though you are in a place where you need some actual help, please do not hesitate to reach out to someone to get that help. It is extremely important. There are definitely hotlines you can get a hold of for mental health crisis, or there are, you know, actual therapists, talk therapists, psychiatrists that you can also get appointments with to help you through some of those things. I have definitely struggled with different issues through my entire life, and definitely I feel like some misdiagnosis. Again, like I said, this is not meant to diagnose anyone, but after I started learning that it wasn't just, you know, 7-year-old little boys that have ADHD, and I actually learned what the symptoms were. I realized, like, you know, my child could maybe have taken a different route had they really understood any of that stuff in the 70s and 80s, which I don't feel like that was there at all. I am kind of operating under the assumption that I have some undiagnosed ADHD, and I'm totally fine with that. Like I said, it makes sense, and I like the bursts of hyperfocus I get, but in the past, I have struggled with finishing projects and getting bored with projects. So different hobbies have not really stuck for me because they have been very boring and tedious and repetitive. But what I like so much about crochet is there seems to be an endless supply of projects, stitches, yarns, yarn weights, yarn colors, everything. So you're never doing the same thing twice, unless you want to, which I do that quite a lot. But the point is that it's about impossible to get bored because there's always something new to learn. There's always a new yarn to try, a new technique, different things like that keep me going. So even if a project is kind of running a little bit long and I might be a little bored with that particular project, I know in my mind I probably got 3 other projects I'm planning, and there's going to be something new and exciting about that. Definitely, I feel like it has helped me have more discipline in sticking with a hobby. I also feel like I used to exhibit a lot of anxiety related to my house because I don't think I was being creative enough. That would manifest itself in the aspect of me stressing out about certain things in my house. Like if, you know, a painting wasn't hanging quite right, or rearranging like the candle holders so they're in the right spot if they didn't look, you know, an inch to the right or whatever. And I feel like that did cause undue anxiety when it was little details that really no one that would come over to my house would know or remotely even care about. But I would have some anxiety related to those things and wanting things to look just right. And since I've been crocheting seriously, I feel like I have been able to pour out so much of that creativeness, and that creative energy doesn't feel all pent up inside of me. And to be honest, like, there's a lot of things I just don't care about my house anymore, and not in a negative way, but it just has helped put things in a lot of perspective. Like, I don't even know if I'm explaining this one in the right way, but it just feels as though I used to have all of this energy pent up inside, and it would, like I said, come out with rearranging the furniture and the accessories and all of that stuff. And now that energy is all being poured into actually making things. So, yeah, my house just doesn't stress me out in that way anymore. I'm not worried that it doesn't look perfect. Who cares? It's fine. One of the biggest ways that crochet has helped my mental health is it has helped my confidence in a couple different ways. Number one, seeing yourself actually complete a project that you know you never would have been able to do several years ago, or you know that not everyone can do that. That's an amazing feeling. So that does help your confidence, seeing completed projects. To be honest, more so has been being brave about doing things in public, if that makes sense. I would have been way too self-conscious and worried about what people think at one point, but I have taken crochet projects tons of different places where I'm stuck waiting and working on them and not worried remotely about if people were staring or what they were thinking or if they were trying to figure out what I was doing. I was literally just content sitting there working on my project. And that I mean, that's a confidence boost right there. And it's not I know it doesn't sound like a big deal, but in a way it does, because you're putting yourself out there. You're doing something you don't always see people do. And so it can be kind of nerve-wracking to do that out in public and put yourself in a position where someone might stare or might question you. And then to take it a little bit further, just after starting the YouTube channel about crochet, I've taken my phone into stores and, either filmed myself in little snippets or just filmed the yarn. And there is definitely something that feels pretty scary about doing that in the beginning too. All of those things, crochet has really helped my confidence by pushing me just a little bit further to do something that, before I never would have considered doing. And probably one of the smallest ways that crochet has helped me with my mental health is that feeling cozy is an extremely important thing to me. That's why I'm in my pajamas. But comfort and being cozy is extremely important to me. I just didn't grow up in a household where those type of things were valued. So for me, getting on a couch and being surrounded by pillows and throw blankets feels very, very good for me. It is, it's very soothing to the inner child to have those comfort items. And I love being able to, wrap myself up in a cozy scarf or put on a cozy hat and just feel, the coziness of that touching me. That is very important to me as well. Being able to crochet those items has really been amazing because I can make them exactly how I want them. I can make something that really feels good and nurtures me. And the last thing I'm going to talk about would be the fact that crochet has strengthened a friendship and brought me to a community. So I talk about my friend Jeanette a lot, and she's the one I refer to as my crochet tutor. And while we were friends before she started helping me with crochet, this has really strengthened our friendship. And, we have so much that we can talk about, and it's been great because when you don't know a lot of yarny crochet people, like sometimes your significant other, they may listen, but it's not really their jam. So it's not really the same when you're telling them about something new. I definitely have my community here on YouTube. I get to talk with you guys and we get to talk down in the comments, and that's extremely important to me. A few people in my community who know I crochet will kind of open up a little bit more and talk to me about some of that stuff where we may not have really had much in common before. A little bit in person, but mostly, online. Just having that community that is supportive and accessible and kind and encouraging has really been just the biggest way that crochet has impacted my mental health. Just feeling really accepted. So thank you. If you have another way that has helped your mental health with crochet, I would love to hear about it down in the comments. Please let us know. And again, if you are struggling with something serious, please do not be afraid to reach out to the appropriate resource where you can get help and get it as fast as possible. Please don't let your perceptions about mental health or worrying about finances or any of that stop you from getting mental health resources that you need. You are 100% worth reaching out and getting the help that you might need. And please know your crochet community is right here with you, and you are not alone. I want to thank you so much for talking yarn with me. This was a little bit more of a sensitive type of video, so please be kind in the comments to myself or to anyone else. And please know that, again, I am so thankful for you.